Hi everyone, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Pradeepa. Good morning.
Hi. So let's get started. It's already 7. So, hi everyone, thanks for joining. Today we are going to learn about the basics of business analysis, and I'm going to this will be a 10 days course. So every day morning, 7 to 7:45 a.m. UST timing. Okay. So I am Pradeepa. I'm currently working as business analyst, senior, okay, in one of the Fortune founded companies in US. So I've been with the industry about 16 years now. So I just want to guide people on how to become a business analyst, because there are many people who want to become a business analyst but they don't know how to do it. So that is why I have started this course. Okay. So today we are going to learn about why do you want to become a business analyst? There are many different jobs available in the market, but why do you want to become a business analyst? And then if you are from non-IT or IT, or from any different kind of background, can I become a business analyst if I'm a non-IT person? Or if I'm from a different country, okay, if I'm not in the US and I'm in the UK, or I'm in Australia or in New Zealand or in India or anywhere, Bangladesh, anywhere, can I become a big business analyst? And what are the different companies? Okay, so we have whether it's service based companies or whether product based companies. What are the different companies that hire business analyst? And what are the different domains available? So whether it's healthcare or banking or retail, what are the different domains and how to become an expert in a particular domain? Also, we have different platforms like Pega, Salesforce, Guideware. So these are languages. So Pega is nothing but an advanced Java. Okay, so how to become an expert in one of the languages? Like if you want to become a Pega business analyst or a Salesforce business analyst or a Guideweb business analyst, how to become one. And then I'm going to talk about what are the very basic skills to become a business analyst, and then how can you scale up? Okay, how can you become an expert, and how can you become a lead or a senior business analyst going forward in 5 to 6 years? So the last one is self-assessment. Right now, you can be anywhere. You can be like a beginner, or you can be some of the domain knowledge, but you don't know IT, or you know IT, but you don't know um, domain knowledge or language or coding language, or you don't know about business analysis skills. So you can be anywhere. So I'm going to talk about how to do that self-assessment and how to scale up your skills. Okay. So let's talk about first, why do you want to become a business analyst? So you can become in IT, right? You can become a tester, you can become a developer or an engineer, or you can also become a business analyst. You can become a product owner. Okay. You can become a scrum master, or you can become a project manager. Okay. You can become any of these things, right, in IT. But uh, you can choose any of these. Okay. You can become a tester. So in testing, you can become a manual tester, or you can become an automation tester. Okay. So in developers, you know about engineers. You can become a Java engineer, or you can become a .NET engineer, or you can become a Pega engineer. Okay. Or you can become a Salesforce engineer. So these are different kind of coding languages. So you can become any of that. Okay. So in analyst, so you can become you have three different levels of business analysis. So first is primary the vanilla BA. Vanilla BA in the sense that person will be only requiring gathering the requirements, but will not do any other stuff. Okay, just gathering the requirements, creating BRDs, FRDs, SRS document, okay, system requirement specification document, and that's all. This is we call it as a pure vanilla BA. They won't be doing any kind of testing, or they won't be doing so much IT work. Okay, so basically gathering requirements and doing documentation. So that is first level. And the second level of business analysis is someone like who will be able to gather the requirements and who will be able to write like in an agile environment. Okay, they'll be able to write user stories. They will be able to write all the um, documentation. This is end to end. Okay, data flow diagrams. They'll be able to like technically they know how one application works or interacts with different applications. So the overall data flow diagrams they'll be able to draw. Okay, and then they will also be able to like do some level of testing. So for example, UAT testing in SIT also, in system integration testing also, to some level they can help the testers actually. If there is no testing team in the particular, for that particular team, then business analyst will also become called a system analyst. And they will be helping with the um, developers for all this SIT testing, also UAT testing, getting approval and all. So there are two different types of business analyst here. So one is the pure vanilla business analyst who will not get into testing at all. Okay, they'll gather the requirements, they will just document the requirements, that's all. But when it comes to system analyst, they are the ones who will be like in the agile environment, they are the ones who will be like gathering the requirements, writing all the user stories, and also doing all the documentation, diagrams also, like basically like creating all the test templates, test plans. And in SAT also they will help, and during UAT also, the final UAT, right, user acceptance testing, for that also these people will help. So I'm going to teach you that advanced level of business analysis where you should be able to not only gather the requirements, also end to end, you need to know like how an application works, how to like define user stories, how to make sure that whatever requirement that you're writing, the developer is able to understand it and create that particular requirement, how to like create data flow diagrams, and how to like make sure you create test plan documents, how to test in SIT environment, UAT environment, and finally how to get approval before we go live into production. So that is what I'm going to teach. Okay, something like senior business analysis course. And you can also become like a product owner, scrum master, and project manager. For project manager, of course, you need in US you need an MS in certain field. You need to have like from I would say like from a standard very nice university. Okay, only then you can directly become a project manager here. Otherwise, you require some amount of experience. You can be a developer, you can be a tester, you can be a business analyst, but you need that team management skills, or you need some kind of experience, at least like 10 years of something or not the other. And then once you reach like a seniority level, only then you'll be offered a project manager. So that is the second route. There are two routes becoming a project manager. One is you can get a standard, you can get a very good MS degree from a very good university and directly become like in staff VP, VP level, or in manager, at least in manager level. Otherwise, you have to like get all the experiences in IT, basically like a tester, developer, or a business analyst, and then maybe after 10 to 12 years, you'll be like promoted to becoming a project manager. So there are two ways to becoming a project manager. So product owner and scrum master is like for mostly like for agile methodology. If the IT team is agile, they are not hybrid or they are not waterfall. So they are having agile methodology. Only then these two positions are will be available. Okay. So I have made different videos on how to become Scrum Master, and also if you want to become a Scrum Master, you can take a look at it. But right now, I'm going to focus only on business analyst. So the next slide is like non-IT versus IT. So many people may have an IT background, or like example like Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science, or Bachelor of Engineering in Information Technology, something like some kind of IT background. They would have done their in 12th, right? They were major discipline would have been computer science and all that. So they have like basically an idea of like systems and applications and how one system interacts with another system, what is database, and like what is query and all that. So basically some kind of coding language experiences like C++, basic of Java or JavaScript, something like that. That is totally IT. If it is non-IT people, then basically like they are from someone, right, who have done their engineering in electrical or electrical engineering, biomedical engineering, bioinformatics, or something like chemical engineering, fashion engineering, something like different. So we have different types of engineering now. So maybe that background, maybe a different engineering background, or they can be like a student of like commerce, or maybe like some different kind of science background too. BSc, like different physics, biology, microbiology, like that. Okay. Whatever said and done, anybody can become a business analyst. In my experience, I'm working in one of the Fortune 500 companies, and I can really say that only the non-IT people excel. I'm not degrading IT people, but I have specifically seen the best out of the best, the cream of the cream are definitely non-IT people, because they think out of the box. They don't like, maybe we can always say that IT people have some kind of like limitations on their thinking, because they basically programmed, like they know what are the basics of IT, right? So this one application interacts with another application. What are the positives and negatives of their interaction? What kind of bug can happen during testing? Or maybe they have some kind of idea, so it's kind of boxed. They know basics, then they kind of boxed. Whereas non-IT, they will think from a user perspective, because they don't know how an application works. So basically their thinking testing level, basically it will be from a user's perspective. Okay, this application requires login, this application requires registration. How will a user, from a user perspective, they will be thinking, instead of from an engineer or an application expert perspective. That's why these people are very good at testing. They can easily find out defects, because somewhere in their mind they are not programmed to that. They are not like, no, this will never be a defect, like that. They will never like program their mind. So I've always seen like the best of managers too are from non-IT background, and they may be like from a very different science background. Okay, so engineering and bioinformatics, or engineering, biotechnology, and all. Even I am a non-IT person. I have a degree in biomedical engineering. So like that's totally different. But these people are the ones who will really want to, uh, because it's very competitive. Okay, once you get a job, you will know that IT industry is very competitive. First of all, getting the interview itself is going to be very hard for you, because it's a highly paid job, right? So highly paid industry standards, compared to any other industry, IT industry is going to pay you like huge compared to any other industry. So it's, since it is highly paid, people are going to be very competitive, because they want this job. And you also have work from home. Okay, you can work from home. Also your bonuses are going to be very high. Okay, so you're going to have yearly bonus are going to be have, you're going to have at least like you're going to have paid holidays. If you're full-time employee, you're going to have paid holidays, you're going to have stock options. So all these will be given to you. You don't want to leave this. That's why like people always like grudge about this IT industry. Like they'll be like, this is too much pressure, I don't want to do this, but they will still be there, because they have some of the benefits, right? So people always say that, oh, I don't want to do IT, I want to go to my passion, I want to do some business, I want to do that, but they will never leave, because they're so much used to like all these benefits. They don't want to leave. Somehow they are stuck in this. So but I'm not telling you to think like that. For me, I'm very, one of the major decisions in my life that I did was like transitioning from non-IT to IT, because when I basically did my engineering degree, I was thinking like, I'm going to go to the US, I'm going to do my research, I'm going to do my PhD in biomedical engineering, I'm going to like go to one of the biomedical companies, right? Like for example, you have CT scans or MRI production companies. I'm going to become a lead engineer there. But the reality is, to do your MS, to do your PhD, to invest so much of time in doing your masters, and the pay is very less compared to IT. Okay, you do all, you invest so much money in your MS, you invest so much money in your PhD, and then you have to wait for like about like 8 years of totally doing all your degree and everything. And then when you get into your biomedical field, the trainee fee, or like basically the beginner's salary, right? That is way less than the trainees salary of an IT industry. So that was like, it was bothering me a lot. So why this industry is so much paid? Why this is there is so much hype in the US? Why Americans are not able to get into this? Why is there is so much demand for Indians and Chinese to get into this industry? What is that that's so fascinating about me? I should definitely get into this one because I deserve to pay high and I deserve to be like one of the experts. And I really want to get paid high. Okay, that time, like 15 years back, my ambition was like, I'm in the US, I have huge opportunity. I know I'm from non IT, but somehow I have to crack and get into this industry because I deserve that pay. I deserve a holiday. I deserve that work from home option. I don't want to go into some industry like work from 9 to 5. What about if I have kids and I am not able to take care of them? So there are like since being a woman, there is like so much dilemma in your mind, like whether I can have that work-life balance or whether if I'm having kids, how am I going to manage? Or if I'm going to like a production-based company and I'm going to like stay there from 9 to 5, like what will happen to my work life balance? Who will take care of my children? I am in a country where I have no help. So all this was going in my mind, and finally I decided that okay, I'm going to try into IT. I know I'm from a non-IT background. I don't have anything like basics about IT industry, but I have to like give my 100% of effort and learn from the basics, and then I have to get into this industry. So when I in the US, right? So it is very very difficult because you here the competition is going to be huge. Um, People know that there are a lot of Indians here, and they're going to fake their experiences. So the interview is going to be very 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 difficult. I'm sure in India or in other countries too, people have this image of like the fake resume. So because like a lot of people, they 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 fake their resume, right? So because you don't have experience in IT, but you want to get into IT and you are like helpless and clueless here. You have some knowledge, you have something in your resume, but you never know what type of questions they're going to ask and what kind of background check is going to be there, or what kind of like whether I'll be able to crack this interview. What happens if they reject me? Like, how many rejections can I take? So people have so much self doubts about themselves, about their skills, and about like what kind of how to actually learn. That is also there, right? Whether watching YouTube videos is enough, or someone has to guide me. Whether I have to go through a training. Is that training enough to crack an interview? So I had so much self doubts. In US, it is very difficult because you have too much competition. In India, I think you have like fairly less competition, I think. But in US, it's very, very difficult to, even though if you have a green card, even though if you are a citizen or you have work permit, it is very difficult to crack a job in IT industry because our people, right, Indians, there is so much competition here. The pay is very high here, so everyone wants to get into this. So I'm sure it's the same in other countries too. Also, if you see about like what is service based and product based companies, service based is something like CTS, TCS, or you have Chusa. Like these are some of the service based companies, and product based we can say like Microsoft, Amazon, Google. So I'm going to show, like for example, in TCS, you can see here business analyst. You have openings in Cary, you have openings in Phoenix, you have opening in Pittsburgh. So you have openings all around. So these are like service-based companies. Whereas in Amazon also you have senior business analyst, Amazon logistics, production planning, business analyst, AWS, Amazon Web Services, business analyst, Amazon fresh to stores. So even in product based companies also you have openings, and service based companies also you have openings. So now you need to decide which one you want to go. And definitely in product based, for example, you get hired in Amazon, the pay is going to be like 200% more than the service based companies. For example, in service based companies you get like 100K. Okay, 100K, whereas in Amazon you're going to get at least 150K or 160K plus bonus plus stock, also plus this joining bonus, like something called 100K. You have to be with them for 3 years, they're going to give you another 100K. So the pay for service based and product based is going to be very different also. But the work experience also will be different in service based like TCS or CTS. So what usually they will do is you are not working for them, you'll be working for a client, right? So you'll be working for some CVS, you're working for some Walgreens, you're working for Walmart, you're working for some kind of insurance, you're working for Bank of America, you're working for a client. So basically they have to get your billing from them, and they're going to give you only half of it. Half of that they're going to have as a profit. Whereas for product based companies, you are actually, you can be a contractor or you can also be a full timer. But if you are a full time with a product based company, the pay is going to be very huge. But I'll also say that the work hours are going to be very extreme, like from morning 6 to evening 6, from morning 6 to evening 8. The work hours are going to be like, you can imagine the work hours they're going to give you. In Facebook also it's like that. So morning 6 to night 6, or morning 6 to night 10, they're going to have such kind of shifts. And but the pay, of course, if you are a bachelor and if you really want to get into one of the product based companies and you definitely want to earn something more in a short amount of time, or you are having that mind of like creating new products, creating new ideas, then I would always recommend you to go for product based. Because in service based, it's more of like the interview is going to be very generic kind of interview. So what did you do? Tell me about business analysis, or like tell me about your previous companies that you have worked. What is, like, how do you handle stakeholders? So that's kind of basic questions they're going to ask you. Because, and also like they have multiple clients as well, right? If you get fired from one client, they can always place you in a different client. Okay, so here it's going to be very easy compared to product based companies. Service based companies, for you it is going to be like the pressure is going to be less also, but the pay is also going to be less. Okay, almost 50% your pay is going to be less. Whereas in companies like Microsoft, okay, and companies like Google and companies like Amazon, your pay is going to be like about 200% more than what you're going to expect from TCS or CTS. But the timings is going to be insane. Also, the expectation from you, like what is it that you're going to give it to the team, and what you're going to be like, if they pay you so much high, the expectation is also high, right? So they want to be on toes, and they want to like you to deliver everything on time, and they expect you a lot from you. But if you're very ambitious and if you want to get into this product base, you can always try. Okay. Interview also, there'll be like 3 to 4 levels of interviews here compared to TCS or CTS. The interview will be very different. And in TCS, of course, there are like 2 to 3 levels of interviews. So first is like the primary, like the domain test or something, and then in second level they're going to ask about one-on-one. It can be a Zoom call, or it can be in person, and then they have one client round. So that client round depends upon I don't know, it can be sometimes the client round will be there, sometimes it's only TCS managers is going to take the interview. Okay, so these are the different service-based and product-based companies. I have told you the pros and cons of both the companies. If you want to enter into Microsoft, if you want to enter Google, even if you are non-IT, that's fine. They don't care. If you want, you can enter into Tesla too. But always remember, the work pressure is going to be very, very, very high. The timings are going to be insane. They don't care whether you eat or not. And Google have their own like, you can always like take your clothes, stay in Google's office, and you can always stay there, you can eat there. They're going to give you everything for free, food or coffee or everything. It's going to be free for you, but they want you to stay and they want to you to deliver everything on time. Okay, then the next is, what are the different domains in business analysis? So we have healthcare, we have banking, we have retail, and okay, these are some of the domains. You can become an expert in one, or if you want to like add a few domains to your resume, so maybe one healthcare project or maybe one banking project, you can always do that too. Especially if you want to get into service-based companies like TCS or uh, TCS or CTS, they have like different kind of clients. They can have one pharmacy client, or they may have one health insurance client, or they may have like something called AIG, or AIG is nothing but it's not a health insurance, right? It's a commercial different type of insurance. So if they may expect you to have maybe one knowledge in one or more domains, but I would recommend you to learn at least two domains. Basics of you should know at least healthcare or banking. You should know basics of healthcare and banking, so that it's easy for you to get into the interview. At least the HR is going to pick up your resume. If your resume is going to be very plain, like you're going to say, I know business analysis, I know like documentation, I know how to do Word, Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and all. It's very hard for the HRA to for the HR to pick up that resume, because they want some kind of speciality in the resume, right? There are like 100 people applying, and they're going to pick only like five of them. So they really look for, even if it's truth or not, they don't care about it. What they look is the words. So the words in the resume are going to be, that is like gold for you. So you may know 100 things, but the HR is not going to know that, right? Because before they even see you, before they call you, what they're looking at is a document, that Word document or that resume. Okay, so the words in the resume are going to be golden for you, because uh, I have heard this multiple times. So many people emailing me that I'm like applying for interviews for 3 months, 6 months. I'm not even getting one call. That's basically because you don't know how to write your resume. Okay, that's a skill to write your resume. You might have added 100 things in your resume, but that's not what the HR is expecting, right? The HR is expecting something, is the hiring manager is giving him very specific keywords. Okay, they don't want to waste the time of the hiring manager. Okay, the hiring manager may have only like three half-an-hour slots, or maybe he may have only like 2 days. In 2 days, like maybe he is having like only four slots. So they cannot be like calling 100 people for these five positions. So even 100 people applies, they're going to select only top 20 people, or maybe top 10 people. And how they're going to do that selection is based upon these keywords. So it's very important for you to know how to write a good resume. Okay, what are the skills I need to add, and like how to highlight each word, because the HR, remember, the HR is a non-IT person. Okay, he doesn't know anything. He will have requirements to hire 10 testers, he will have requirements to hire 10 business analysts. So he will have no idea whether you have some knowledge or not. Okay, all he's looking is like seeing your resume, and then he will be like looking for that keywords. Okay, this person knows agile, for example, they're looking for some agile business analyst. Okay, and you know agile, you know the difference between what is waterfall agile, all agile techniques, you know, but you have not entered in your resume maybe a 10 times. Maybe you've entered like one or two times. What this HR is going to do is do control F, give agile, and then going to click on enter, and then he's going to find out how much agile words are there in that resume, and then he's going to like decide whether to call this person or not. But you will be like, no, I added agile in my resume, but like how many times have you added? Did you add one time or two time, or did you add it, like did you enhance that? Did you make it bold? Did you add it in your summary? Did you add it in all your projects? So it's a very important skill to write your resume. Otherwise, your resume is never going to get picked up. You're going to apply, still wait for the phone call, and that is never going to happen. So even learning the skills, that is one thing, but learning to write your resume, and learning how to like approach the interviewer or approach the HR, learning how to like apply at the right time for each company. You should know when TCS will be hiring, when there will be a vacancy, when CDS will be hiring, what are the prime months they're going to hire, when there will be a vacancy. You should never apply when they are going to like fire all the people, when there is like a year end. In December you apply, you're not going to get any responses. So you should know. For that, you should have a nice social circle of people working in that companies. Okay, so you should have referrals, very crucial, okay, to get a job. You should know people inside the industry, you should know people inside the companies. Try to find out some like some kind of some setting will be there. You need to know friends inside. So otherwise, with referrals, very easy to get in. Even if you don't have knowledge, with referrals you can definitely get in. Okay, so I would recommend you to learn business analysis. That's good, but also simultaneously, you should also know how to write your resume. You should enhance your social circles within the company, and you need to try to get contacts. 90% of the jobs is filled by contacts inside the company. Either they know someone, or someone is referring because they're getting that hiring bonus, or someone managers knows this person. Like that's how most of the jobs are getting filled. Okay, if you're going as a trainee, that's different. So you're fresh out of college, and they're going to be a mass hiring in the college or some campus interview. Something is happening there. Get your name and you enter into training and you go. That is totally different. But I'm talking about people who are in their 30s. I'm talking about people who have a huge gap. I'm talking about people who are married and they're having a huge gap, or someone who want to transition from one department to another department. Someone is working in a different sector and want to get into IT. No, definitely you need to have that social group or circles or friends. And the next one is like, what is the difference between Pega business analyst, Salesforce business analyst, and Guidewire business analyst? So Pega is nothing but it's a language, so it's an advanced Java, and this is a licensed software. Okay, so this is not free. So if you see here, I'm going to go into their website. So Pega has their academy and all, and there are so many people teaching Pega. I also have done like 2 to 3 videos on like how to become a Pega business analyst. So this is like nothing but advanced Java. So if you want to become a business analyst, but the company is hiring Pega business analyst, for example, all the bank, mostly 90% of the banks in US is their coding is based upon this language. Okay, so Bank of America, and then you have Wells Fargo. There are many banking companies here who use this language as their core language because they feel that Pega is more easier to code. If you're going to go for something like open source like Java, it's going to be very difficult. But Pega means they have some additional security features, and also people like to buy this purchase, and they want to I mean, they want to develop their product using this Pega language. So when can I think someone is. Okay. So when people want to, when the company like Bank of America, they want to develop their product in Pega, they are looking for some people who knows about this language, right? So they want developers who knows Pega, they want business analysts who knows Pega, and they also want testers who knows Pega. So basically, you need to learn all the basic skills, okay, requirement gathering skills, also documentation skills. You need to have that documentation. You need to know how to draw. So data flow diagrams, how to like use PowerPoint, or how to use um, like for example Glyphy diagrams, how to use Confluence, how to use Jira, all that you need to know. Okay. On top of that, you also need to know banking domain. On top of that, you also know to know a little bit of Pega. Okay, what is Pega? What are the basics, rules, rule sets of Pega? How to test something in Pega? So basic of that also you need to know. This will make you a complete business analyst. So the skills, whatever I'm talking, right? You need to know basics, how to gather a requirement, how to do documentation. You need to know how to work in both waterfall methodology as well as agile methodology, and also how to like draw all the diagrams. Okay, UML diagrams, flow chart, data flow diagrams, all the different kind of diagrams. So I'm going to teach you on like some of the diagrams. I will teach you how to draw also. And on top of that, you need to know one coding language, not like entire, not like a developer, but you need to know what is Salesforce, what is Pega, or what is Guidewire. So at least one specialization in one of the coding languages. Also, like at least one or two domains. So it can be in banking or it can be in healthcare. Okay, so I'm in healthcare for all the 15 years. I'm in healthcare. So I'm in working in one of the leading US insurance companies. So healthcare has always has good market. But if you don't want to do healthcare, you can always go for banking, retail, or different whatever is your interest. Okay, you can learn one of the domains and also one of these languages. So it's very crucial for you to put all this in your resume. For example, here in Salesforce. So this is Salesforce. So Salesforce also they have, it is also a product like Pega, but it's different. Okay, so they have like lot of uh, tools, artificial intelligence. They have so many tools and products here, but you can also learn. So learning, if you go to learning, they're going to like so you can learn about Salesforce CRMs, Salesforce Cloud Basic Service. So you can learn something. Basically, what is Salesforce and how people are using Salesforce, how to test in Salesforce, like all these basic things you can always like learn, so that in the interview, even if you don't know what is Salesforce, at least you can at least can match up, right? Like saying that I know business analysis, I know like how to test and everything. Also in Salesforce, I know the basics. Like that you can test. You can tell them. Okay, instead of knowing nothing, at least you know the basics of how a Salesforce product is working and what are the different customers. For example, Humana is using it, Priority Health is using it. There are so many companies who use the Salesforce products, and even in healthcare, banking, like in so many people in US, right? I can say that some of the major companies are using the Salesforce product. So you will have a good opening if you are in the US. So you need to know one of these products, and also you need to know the domain knowledge too. So who's going to use it? Whether it's any healthcare company, that healthcare domain knowledge too, you need to know. So yeah, the next is, so I've talked about skills. So in skills, I've already told you need all the skills. Next is self-assessment. So self-assessment, right? You know, you want to become a business analyst, good. Now you have to do like assessment on yourself. Okay, what is my level of learning now? Whether I'm a beginner, or I know some of the domain skills, I know some of the coding skills, but I don't know business analyst skills, or I know business analysis skills, but I don't have domain skills, or I don't have this Pega knowledge, or Salesforce knowledge, or any coding language. Or I know everything bits and pieces, but I'm not becoming an expert. I've already undergone training with some other different company, but I'm not getting interview calls. Or I'm already working in some company, I don't have enough time to learn. So you may be stuck somewhere. You need to definitely like write, take a note, write down in points like, right now what is my communication skill? Okay, can I communicate properly with everybody through email, through documentation? Okay, okay, and also during calls with the clients, if I have a call with the clients with different stakeholders, can I lead that call? Or can I talk to anybody like with an expert with no fear? Or do I have that presentation skills? Do I have that drawing skills? Or do I have like interview skills? For example, even if I don't know something, how would I tell the interviewer I know that? Or I do I know how to handle the interview properly? Or whether I'm going to get frustrated again and again, I'm going to lose hope and then end up not getting a job. So where am I standing now? And even so, this takes a time. Okay, don't think in overnight, in one night you can become an expert. It definitely takes about 30 to 45 days. And I can guarantee you in like in 45 days, um, every day if you take like 1 hour or like maybe 45 minutes every day, and if you are thoroughly enhancing on something, if you want to like develop on documentation skills, you don't know how to write a BRD, you don't know how to write an FRD, or you don't know how to like write any particular document. Now I'm going to learn how to write a document, right? You take the videos, or in YouTube you have ample number of videos, in Google you have ample number of documents. So you take that and you are going to like practice. It takes time because you don't have background, and you cannot like you are not going to college, right? You're not doing MS in business analysis or something. So this is like self learning. If you're doing self learning, it's going to be very hard on you, because you have to try to motivate yourself and then learn all the basics by yourself. And that's what I did in like 15 or 16 years back. That's what I did, because there was that time there was not YouTube, like nobody was like putting videos in YouTube too. You have to do everything by yourself, and like it was very hard that time to get guidance from anybody. At least now we have ample number of videos in YouTube. Everybody is like teaching you what to do, but in those times like nothing was available. Everything you have to learn, you have to search and learn by yourself. And and you have to enhance your skills by yourself. You will get lucky, that I will tell you. If you are putting your effort and at least for 45 days or 2 months, if you're learning every day, you will definitely get lucky and you will get a call. Because if that effort is not there, nobody, the universe is not going to give you anything. And so you, from your stand, you have to give that effort. And that 45 days, that 2 months of every day 1 hour learning, you have to do, you have to enhance all your skills. And when you have reached that 2 months timeline, definitely, I'm telling you, once you are like confident on yourself, now I can attend an interview, or now I can apply for CTS or TCS. Now I know the basics. Now I can handle any kind of tough questions. I don't have any fear for the interview. If I fail, that's fine. That is an experience. And then now you try to apply for a job. Even if you fail in the first interview, I'm sure you will get in the second or the third interview, because you now, like, you're not afraid of the failures, you're not afraid of any of the questions they're going to ask, and you know the basics and you have learned enough, right? So definitely it's enough to get a, like, that first level of interview. That's fine. Once you get an job, then of course you will have that passion to get learn inside the job, and then from there your career will take off. So my recommendation is, you have to do the self assessment. Without doing the self assessment, you'll become blind, and you'll have no vision on what to do, and you will have no vision on like how to get a job, and you'll be stuck in that environment, and you will never progress in your career. Okay. So I think we have some more time. Like, do you guys have any other questions?
Yeah, hi Pradeepa.
Hi.
I am following your